I know some of y'all are getting sick and tired of hearing about it, but I want to talk to y'all about reading couplings. The reason being is that being able to read a coupling when your butt's burning and you think you're going to die can mean the difference between surviving or not, between going home in a body bag or going home to your family. It seems trivial, but it's not whenever you get caught in a sudden catastrophic fire event and you find that the only way you can find your way out is by finding a line, following it, and being able to instantly read a coupling to know whether you're going in or whether you're going out. Let me qualify this. When I was a rookie back in 1978 at our academy, we were taught to differentiate between the big lug on the male and the little lug. Now, I hope y'all can see this. I'll move up a little bit closer. That's what we were taught. And even in the academy, we knew how incredibly difficult it was with a gloved hand. And this isn't under pain. This is just with a gloved hand, being able to differentiate between a big lug and a little lug. But that's what we were taught. And so it's what I not only believed, but it's what I taught for about the first 20 years of my career, even as an officer. It's what I taught, but we knew it was ridiculous because we probably had a 50% failure rate for being able to identify it, especially when the couplings end up in this configuration where they're in line. If they're offset, it may not be so difficult. But here's the point I'm wanting to make. In the past 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, I've encountered and had conversations with firefighters from 5 or 6 different departments. And I challenged every one of them. Well, one of the things I always ask a firefighter is, do you defog your mask? And if they don't, I explain how. The other is how to read a coupling. And so I challenged every one of these firefighters, and it's probably a total of maybe 15 firefighters over that time frame, and 100% got it wrong. And now I'm seeing something new. I know about the smooth bump to the pump. That's my own department in Houston teaches it. But I also know that I have an extremely high failure rate with that method. 2 years out of the academy, people forget the smooth altogether. They only remember the bump. And the other thing is, even if they remember the smooth, the number of firefighters on our drills that will feel the smooth, meaning they're going out, and then stop and languish right here trying to identify 2 bumps to confirm they're going out. You're coming up on the hose line here, and you hit this with no doubt about it, with a gloved hand, even if your butt's burning. You know this is smooth. This smooth sailing is what we say. If you come up from the other direction, you're coming up and you hit this, a lug, don't even worry about the second lug. It's totally irrelevant other than it makes it rhyme. But if you hit this lug, it means you're going in. Remember, this is where the nozzle would attach. And so the big lug or rough means it's gonna get rougher or you're going in. You can make up whatever saying you want. But in the past 2 weeks, I've been getting the smooth bump for years. But in the past 2 weeks, every single firefighter I've run into had the same method. And they all told me, this is what they did. They said, oh yeah, if I'm reading the coupling, I go up and when I find the big lug, and they'll put their thumb on it, and they say, this is what I'm looking for. And so the first time I heard it, I was shocked. And so I asked them, every one of them, I said, okay, when you're going up the line and you hit this lug, are you going in or out? And 100% told me they were going out. And that is absolutely wrong. If you are going up the hose line and you hit a lug, the big lug's the only one you're worried about. It means you're going toward the nozzle. you're going in. Unless that nozzle is looped back and gone out the front door. That means you're going toward the nozzle. If you come up the hose line, and I apologize for not having hose. I'm a civilian now and I don't have any, so all I've got is couplings. But if you're coming up the hose line, and this is the way you're always going to survive, you're going to go to the floor. If you find the line, you're going to be crawling as fast as you can, following that line with your hand around it. You're going to hit a coupling. Instantly, you identify it's smooth, that you're going out. I can't stress enough. And remember, I was taught a bad method. And I wasn't smart enough to figure out on my own that it was ridiculous to think that this would save anybody in a catastrophic fire event where you're covered up with fire. The difference between living and dying is 10 seconds. 10 seconds, your mask melts off your face. But one day at Station 46, I was a captain. I was teaching how to read a coupling, big lug, little lug. And one of my firefighters, Larry Dickens, said, well, Captain, what if we use the smooth? And he said smooth sailing, and the rough, it's going to get rougher. And instantly I knew that was the answer to our problem about reading a coupling consistently. And so I beg of y'all, I pray that y'all think about this. If you have a system that you and all of your crew 100% of the time blacked out, under pressure can get right, then there's no reason to change. I'm not trying to push any certain method. I'm trying to push survival. I love every one of y'all and respect the firefighting profession and everybody that takes it seriously. And so I want y'all to go home to your families alive. And I'm also going to attach a video yesterday. I talked about the failures, and this is the way God works. Yesterday, I went to Montgomery Fire Department, local fire department here where I live, and 2 young rookies just got off probation. I challenged them, and they were able to read the coupling right. And so I had them make a video. They're a lot more photogenic than I am, and I'm going to also attach that to this video. So once again, I love and respect y'all. And I hope this makes a positive change if you need to have a change made. Thank you.